Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And I thought I'd talk about the second of my favourite horror films I like, and so on. Before I get to the horror films, I fucking hate, I despise, I'm thinking a piece of fucking shit. But why not have fun? Why not have fun? Life is short, life is shit, life is miserable. Let's have a ball and talk about horror movies I like. What's in the box? Give me the box. You know what I'm on about? The Tassie, the original Hellraiser. I love Hellraiser. I like the fact that it was one of the very first films that was by the legendary Dave Barker. I think it has a lot of imagination. I like the fact it's a puzzle box. If you get it wrong, spikes will come out and rip you to pieces. If you get it right, the stalactites will come and get you. Now, the first Hellraiser is pretty interesting. The character go Frank, he gets the box wrong, it rips him to pieces. And he comes back with no sting. Every time you look at him, he looks repulsive. And he's definitely not a character you like. He's got the idea he's having it away with his brother's wife. I always remember the bit where he's having it away, it's all the set scene, and he's having it away on the wedding dress. It's all about going to the bone. I like the character tours there. I like when the Cenobites come in. The only my issue is, my only issue is you don't see a lot of the Cenobites do a bit at the beginning, a bit at the middle, nearly at the end. That's when you more or less see them. Pinhead, even though he's not in it as much in the original, he still makes a good appearance. I also remember the tacit lines. We will tear your soul apart. Love it. Yeah, Hellraiser. My second favourite horror movie would have to be Hellraiser 2. It's good to see more of the Cenobites. I love the maze to go through. I love the fact they got it hellbound. It definitely has a lot of fantasy. You love the scene of Hellbound. I remember behind the scene footage. I like the fact you see more of the villain in it, Tisto, I remember her name. And so on. I think Cersei Stu does a good performance. I like the fact she's more a Pinhead. I also like the fact you have a backdown story of how he becomes Pinhead, which is also the opening of him doing the bots. Yeah, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound is a dud. I even like the door with the puzzle box. It's a dud. Now, my other favourite horror movie would have to be Poltergeist 2. The third one, you already know, is a piece of shit, so I don't want to be on the worst one, but this one was a damn worthy sequel. I remember saying it, and the man of my word, is it as good as the original? No. But it's still a good one. It's good to see the Fiki family come back. I do know the history about the older sister. I just wish they did her a back down story of what happened to her. We all know the actress in real life. Very sad story. But they sort of like write it out in this. Write it out, they have another actress playing the role. They don't write out that she's living with her friends. She's gone to, I don't know, fucking college somewhere. They don't do that, which is the same. But I still like the characters. I like the evil spirit saying when he was alive, may he rest. Really cheap. I remember the Elitza song he sings. Yeah, it's a good one. My other favourite horror movie would have to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, the original, the classic Nightmare on Elm Street. Robert England nailed that. Nobody else would make that role. Nobody. There's an interesting history. Fuck it, I'll tell it you. David Warner, may he rest, originally was going to play Freddy Krueger. True story, had the makeup on and everything. There was a lot of reasons why he turned it down. Originally, Freddy Krueger was going to be this dirty old man. They was going to make him into a pedo, which the girls that got stabbed. They used that in a shitty remake. I think Wes Taper felt it would have been more frightening to make him out to be a kiddie murderer. And Robert England got the role instead, made it his own, and the rest is history. But there was a lot of deleted scenes, like the character Nancy had a long lost brother. You got the idea Freddie killed him, and so on. And some bits I could take or leave in the deleted scenes, but that bit I thought was interesting. I love the bits where the arm stretches out. I love the line that says, "This is God." Love that scene. The bit he cuts his fingers off, the first death. straight to the bone, doesn't fuck around. And I also like the idea that you don't know who he is. That's one thing I never liked about the third Elm Street movie. I've always said it. I don't give a shit about Freddy's mum, the nun. Never did a fuck about her. I always felt the less you knew of that character, the more frightening that character is. He could be in your area. He could be on your street. Like I said in the last Elm Street movie, every street is an Elm Street. And he's right, it is. And that character, the less you knew of Freddy Krueger, the more frightening that character were. Yeah, you do get a bit of the comedy stuff in it, like you'd later see in the sequels, but it's not like he's jumping out for laughs and diggles like he did in most of the other Elm Street films, or it'd be the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth must be a fucking comedy, even though I do like the sixth one. But this one, some of the humour's dark, is cheaper. The bit where he cuts his fingers off, the bit where he decides there's that girl with the blood on her face, and he says, "Hey, Gina, no walking." That's it. No running in the hallway. That scene. The scene where he passes his face through the door window. He says, "Help me, Nancy, help me," from rips the face off. Freddy. Those scenes are nerving, they're frightening, they stare at. So yeah, the original Elm Street film by Wes Craven, it's a good one. It's a scary one. My next favourite horror movie would have to be Annabelle of Horror. Is it a true story? No, I don't buy that. I'm going to say no. I don't buy the bit with the house being haunted and all this. The really bit was a true story. Young lad. His eyes are fucking tight. There's a lot of rumours of what happened. He murdered his fucking family. He tamed insanity to dodge the electric chair in America. That's the only bit in Annabelle what's a true story. The rest of it, I never bought it being a true story. But I still think it's a good one. The fact that a family moving, a lot of cheaper things are happening, it's psychological, it's suspenseful. They find out the house is haunted. I love the ending when they're coming down the stairs and you got the blood coming down. I love that scene. Margaret Ticker, Macy Rest, I like that ever being the mum. I like James Bolden. The priest, I could take him or leave him. The bit I think was scary is a bit of the fires and attacking his face, and you got the fire slow at first saying, "Get out." He's looking around. "Get out!" Dead fucking loud. Even I jumped down my skin when I first saw that. The bit with the window slammed shut on the kid's hand, which I believe did actually happen. Whether it did or not, different story. But yeah, I think it's a dud. Like I said, I think the bit with the priest is there. But then after the bit, the priest started to phone him up. He burns his hand. The bit where the thing falls on his eyes. I'm blind. I felt those scenes just dragged, to be honest. They fucking dragged. I mean, it was just dragging the story out. But the bit with the family, yeah, I think it was a dud. I also like Annabelle 2, The Possession. I like the idea that it's a young lad, he gets possessed. Okay, it goes to the bone in this one. Because you do get incest. The idea the lad fancies his fucking sister. But I still like the idea. I like the makeup, the practical effects when the thing comes out of him. I like the story. It's suspenseful. It's psychological. And I never knew that. I never knew for fucking years that was supposed to be a prequel about the family that got killed. I told us it's horror mixed in. He got possessed and all that bit was just BS to make it more horror. I do know they used a different house from the original, but I do think the house is just as faithful as the one in the original one. Compared to what it looked like in the fucking remake, where I just think the house looks like a piece of fucking over-the-top shit. I think it's a dud. So then Annabelle 2, The Possession, I think that would have been the best of the Annabelle films. The rest of them after that, 3D, a fucking haunted lampshade. Seriously, you're not hearing things. An haunted fucking lampshade. The less I talk about that, the happier. The others after that, it's just a task job, and you can see it. Yeah, there's a lot of other horror movies I like psychological. Fuck it, I'll do one more before I end this. One of my favourite horrors, The Entity, another true story. The bit where the spirit's raping the woman. Yes, it's to the bone, but it was a true story. There's bits I could think maybe it was made up to make it more stereo, and there's bits what probably did happen. But the fact this woman had to go through that, she had to go and fight it a little bit at the end, where it actually calls her an F in the letter CU word. And she says, you can hurt me, you can beat me, but you're never going to have my body. That's mine. And she sticks up for herself. And the fact it was still going on, like through the mid-70s, and then eventually it just died down. Remember the words where it says it still carried on, but it stopped eventually. It didn't get as worse as what it did, and then eventually it went. I just thought it was just cheaper the less you saw of it. And if they did the entity today and they did a remake, it'd be CGI fucking Hardcastle. It would be a CGI Hardcastle. The way it's done, the music, that music every time you got a rape scene, a attack scene, that is so nerving. The performance, the bit with pushes the face, everything in that to me is. I saw that and honestly, it just had an effect to me. It was scary. It was, again, I'll keep saying that word, psychological, expensive, the entity, again based on a true story, and so on. Into them. I'll talk about more of my favourite horror movies. You see, I've got a ghost at the side of me here. Only joke, it's my duvet. But into them, be smart, be safe. Happy Halloween when it comes.